I just had to make this video because it's kind of the last straw for me, because I'll put a link in the description. The link's already there, by the way, in the description. Right, so for years and years we've all been fighting against viruses, malware, everything on the internet is basically you need to be behind a firewall. Well, it's like every time I step into the internet, I'm using a virtual machine to protect myself from all this. Right, and I'm sure many of you as well have also had bad experiences with things online. The one consoling thing that we have all had is that our phone, our telephone number is sacred. Our text messages are sacred. They're all on a different network. You know, you put your SIM card in. You can text to your family, your friends, and you know that that is separate from the internet. Until now. So what is the big, why am I getting annoyed? Well, I've talked about this before, about the big fish eating the little fish, right? We all know about the big corporations buying out the smaller corporations, or the little guy gets, so basically goes bankrupt, so it gets bought out by a bigger guy, and right? We know about that. It happens all the time, right? Well, now, I'll tell you what happened to me anyway, right? So, I've got my phone set to manual updates. So, I got an email and it said YouTube has got a new update for YouTube Studio, and I thought, oh, it said new features. I thought, oh, good. I'll update that. So I goes and updates it, and then I sees that my phone app messages has got an update. I think, oh, I might as well update that as well. So he updates my phone messages app, and after the update I was kind of shocked, because it didn't say messages anymore. It says messages by Google. Right, internet, Google, all that stuff is internet, right? My messages is my app for my SIM, for my phone. Now it's been taken over by Google. Do you know what that means? Oh shit, hang on. Sorry about that, my phone rang. So I was a bit shocked when I saw that. So I immediately did a Google search, and the answers to my Google search are actually in that link I posted in the description, which I'll stick it on an end screen. So what does this mean? Basically this means that there's a merger going on at the moment between our private text messages and our phone service and the internet with Google. So why should we be bothered about that? Well, we need to be bothered because, let's face it, at the moment you've got two means of communication. You've got your phone, you've got your text messaging. That's one system, which is on your SIM. Then you've got your internet, which is a completely different entity, right? But Google is trying to merge the two, your SIM and the internet. If the internet goes down, you're screwed, basically. And it's not just that, it's a privacy issue. Now, we know about hackers and viruses and all that shit, right? Now, what happens if somebody is able to negotiate from the internet a connection directly to your phone through this app, which is quite possible? That means that they could gain access to all your contacts, and they could also access things like the calendar on your phone with your appointments and everything, because it can be connected, you know, your app, your SIM and your calendar and all that, your appointments and all that. And anyway, so I did a search, and this article, Forbes magazine, came up talking about this issue. Anyway, I wasn't happy about it anyway. So I went to the App Store, and I was so annoyed that my Messages app was no longer separate, that I left a 1-star review, and I also posted a comment saying that this is invasive because it is an invasion. It is invading my privacy because my messages are separate. If I disconnect from the internet tomorrow, if I get upset with the internet for any reason and I decide I want to just disassociate, for example, then I won't be able to, because my phone will be Messages app would be linked to that. So apparently SMS is going away, and it's going to be replaced by RCM, I think it is, or is it RS? Anyway, go and look it up, it's in the link. Anyway, I wasn't happy, so I posted a comment saying that this is just too invasive. It's overstepping the boundary. We all have boundary layers. We all have boundaries that we don't want crossed, and this was crossing my boundary, and I wasn't upset. And I said, I want to remove this app. I couldn't uninstall it. It wouldn't let me. There was no uninstall button, and I left a comment in the on the review. I edited the review, and I posted that I want to remove this app. I want to go back to the original app, right? I removed the update, but the app was still there, and I couldn't remove that. And you never guess what happened after that. Guess what happened after that? I exited out the App Store. I went to have another look at Messages, and it had changed. It had gone back. I hadn't uninstalled it, remember. I removed the update, but it was still there. And it had gone back to the original app. I never uninstalled it. It had a white background instead of the black background, which I'd set before. It was a white background, and it was the standard Messages. It was almost like, because I'd said something in that review, somebody at the other end was able to remotely remove that Messages by Google app. They'd done it. They removed it. If they can do that, what else can they do? So this is scary, that somebody can access your phone like that without you even clicking. Even though I asked for it in a message, I didn't click an uninstall button or anything. It just disappeared, and it went back the way it was. But needless to say, I'm not going to use it anymore. I don't trust it. So I'm going with Signal. I'm using it's better than WhatsApp. There was a big conundrum about Signal, not Signal, WhatsApp. It's in that article anyway. Go read it. So I've decided to use Signal instead, because I'm just not happy about this privacy invasion. My medical history, my medical data, all that stuff is my business. It's nobody else's business. It certainly isn't the internet's business, right? And this is where it's going. All our privacy is being violated by the fact that they want access to every single aspect of our lives right now, and that is not on. It's unacceptable, and I'm sure, and most people, I'm sure, are the same, because this is why so much controversy has been going on about WhatsApp and Facebook and all these big corporations. There's such a thing carrying on right now about people's privacy being violated that, well, it's astronomical. I mean, I'm just one little person in the huge mass of unhappy people, but most people don't have a say. This is what I'm saying. We didn't have a say. I didn't have a say about this app suddenly being eaten by a big fish and taken over, which is what happened. So a big corporation takes over this app without even giving me the option. Would you like the Google version of this app, or would you like the standard version? I didn't get that choice. It just appeared, and had to kick up a fuss to get rid of it. And this is just not on. It's not on. I mean, that's like somebody coming along and painting your car a different colour and saying, I hope you like it because you're stuck with it, you know? I mean, that is not the way the world's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be having stuff forced on you. You walk into a store, right, and the shopkeeper comes up and pressure sells you, say you can't leave the store unless you buy this. I mean, that's basically what's going on. I mean, it's not right. So if you see your apps, more and more of your apps in your phone saying by Google, by Google. I mean, look how many there is now. There's a whole long list of stuff by Google, by Google. They're taking over. The big fish are taking over. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that. Just go to your app store and look in there. Everything's just, everything at the top is saying by Google, by Google. There's, look, I've got nothing against Google, but I just think that the way they're going about this is all wrong. They should not be taking... They shouldn't be eating the little fish, is what I'm saying, right? They shouldn't be taking over like that. They should ask people, would you like the choice? Would you like to use this version or would you like to use that, the original version? But they're not. They're just doing it. And then we have to kick up a fuss to say, no, I don't want that. I want the old version. I want the old one because that's not connected to the internet. This one will be, you know? Yeah, it's really annoying. It's really frustrating. If you think I'm wrong, just leave a comment. I mean, I'm pretty sure that most people who are watching this video right now, they want to have the right to choose, and we all want to have the right to choose, right? I mean, it's like we're being kidnapped, right? You know? You're walking down the street, mind your business, somebody grabs you and throws you in the car and says, you're going for a ride, my pal. That's mafia, isn't it? Well, that's what's going on with these apps. Anyway, enough of my rant. Just go and look at the Forbes magazine article, and if you can find any holes in what I've just been saying, please let me know, because, yeah, if they take us from SMS to RCS, I think that's what it is, RCS. I never asked for that. I want SMS, and they've already done away with the MMS. They've said that that's a defunct system, right? MMS. So you can't send text messages on MMS anymore. So you usually have to go through something like WhatsApp, which the new signal, much away. I mean, it's got and it's kind of been compromised. Well, Signal, the people that wrote WhatsApp were so unhappy with what happened with their creation. They said, well, we'll do it all over again. We'll create another one. We'll create the new one, but no one's going to get their dirty mitts on this one. So they created Signal, and Signal has got no security vulnerabilities. So I would suggest, if you want privacy, go with that. So I'm not going to use my messaging anymore because I don't trust it, because I don't know what's going on with it right now. So I've just gone into settings and I've set Signal as my default messages app, and I'm going to stick with it because medical. I'm not a council, you know. I'm not about counselling, that kind of counselling. I'm talking about my local council, as in the people that run, because we had issues with dog poo and all that. Another story. So I don't want all that stuff leaking out on the internet. That's confidential. I mean, what's happened to confidentiality? Now, I did this counselling course. Now I am talking about the counselling, right? As in social skills to do with. Now, I did this counselling course, and what we were taught about, we taught about boundaries, confidentiality. We also dealt with body language, congruence, all that stuff, you know. All that. That was mainly because of my gender issues, and it was to help my kids and my daughters understand and all that stuff, right? It was mainly for me to be more agreeable to them, so that we could have a more mutual, less stressful conversation. Now, but based on that, we were taught there are certain boundaries that you do not cross, right? You do not invade somebody else's space. Well, my space is being invaded by having this stuff, these apps being pushed on me without even asking me. So, yeah. Anyway, enough of my rant. Oh my God, I've been talking 17 minutes. Oh my God. Anyway, see you later. Bye for now. If I can find